Valuable members of the press, I would like to greet you all wholeheartedly with love and affection. I'm very pleased to host my dear brother Abdelmadjid Tebboune, the president of the Algeria, in Ankara on the occasion of our first high-level cooperation council meeting. Within your presence, once again, I would like to say welcome to Mr. President and his delegation. After 17 years of a time frame, this is an historical visit paid by the President, and we are gaining a new momentum into our bilateral relations. By taking this opportunity, I would like to congratulate the 60th year anniversary of the independence of the Algeria. I would like to commemorate with great respect all the martyrs who lost their lives for their homelands. And this year marks the 60th year anniversary of our diplomatic relations. As the two brotherly and friendly countries, we are sharing a common history dating back to 500 years. The foundation of the High-Level Cooperation Council, which improved our relations, was decided on my first official visit that I paid to Algeria in 2017. And today we had the chance to organize this first High-Level Cooperation Council meeting. Through our talk, we once again reaffirmed to improve our bilateral relations. Throughout our talks, we assessed our bilateral relations in great depth by increasing our cooperation and coordination, both bilaterally and also in the international platforms. We reaffirmed our vows once again. Thanks to God, our bilateral trade improves every passing year. In my last visit, we have set forth our bilateral trade target as $5 billion. Despite the pandemic, we have increased our bilateral trade by 35%, reaching out to $4.2 billion. We are increasing the benchmark today and set forth a new target, and we will reach to the target of $10 billion in terms of our bilateral trade. Algeria, which is a door opening to Africa, should enrich and vary its production, and in many fields, starting with culture, tourism, military and trade. As the Turkey and Algeria, we will march forward to the future with much more confident steps. As the Republic of Turkey, we are standing with our Algerian brothers and sisters, and our investors, who are the driving engine of our economy, closely follow this process. More than 1,400 Turkish companies are increasing the strength of the Algerian economy. We are seeing the Algeria as a production base, and I am certain that your support to the Turkish companies who sees Algeria as a production base will continue. Tomorrow, with the participation of the Algerian president, we will be holding the business forum, and hopefully this business forum will contribute to increasing investments reciprocally and our bilateral cooperation. Our works in the field of mining and energy will definitely boost the welfare of our countries. Valuable members of the press, together with my dear brother, we had a chance to discuss the problems and the matters in the African continent and also in the Islamic world. Algeria is not only the greatest country in the African continent with its territory, it is one of the leader countries in the African continent. Starting with the Northern Africa and Sahel region, Algeria plays a very important role, which we really appreciate as the Republic of Turkey. On the basis of win-win policies and equal partnership, we are ready and striving for improving our cooperation with our brothers and sisters in the African continent. Libya and Somalia are two examples as the two countries we are attaching importance for the economic development of aforesaid countries. So that's why I wish that the elections in Somalia will be auspicious to the Somalian people. As Somalia was on the brink of collapse in 2012, Turkey contributed a lot for the economic recovery of the Somalia, and we are very pleased that the presidential elections had been carried out successfully. May elections be auspicious not only for Somalia and also for the African countries, and we really congratulate the President Hassan Mahmoud. As the two countries who are playing a very important role for the stability in the African continent, we are determined to improve our cooperation in the field of defense industry. Our chief consulate, which will be opened in the province of Oran, will definitely contribute to our endeavors of improving our bilateral relations. Together with our Mare Foundation, we will be constructing a school in Algeria, and hopefully the high-quality education opportunities will be provided for our Algerian brothers and sisters. Those strong bonds between the Algerian and the Turkish people will be strengthened even further with the opening of new culture centers. That is what we aim. From mining to environment, from education to culture, in a variety of fields, we had recently undersigned many agreements, and through those agreements, we have reinforced the contractual basis of our bilateral relations. The concrete steps will be assessed by our relevant ministries, and they will be executing those steps in order to improve bilateral relations, and we will be encouraging our relevant ministries and support them whenever they need it. As I conclude my remarks, once again I wish that our council meeting hopefully would be auspicious. I would like to thank His Excellency Mr. President and his delegation for their official visit on behalf of myself, on behalf of my state and my nation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursalin. Sayyidat wa Sada al-Kiram. Assalamu alaikum. بهذه المناسبة وفي هذا الظرف الزمني الخاص بالنسبة لوطني، أننا بعد أسابيع سنحتفل بالذكرى 60 لاسترجاع سيادتنا الوطنية من المستعمر، وذكرى 60 لإقامة علاقات دبلوماسية مع جمهورية تركيا الشقيقة. إذن في هذا الظرف الذي يبعث على التفاؤل، أجدد شكري وامتناني لفخامة الرئيس رجب طيب أردوغان على ما حظينا به من كرم الضيافة وحفاوة الاستقبال. وأود في البداية أن أعرب عن ارتياحنا العميق لما حققناه معا من خطوات هامة أضيفت إلى الرصيد المتميز لعلاقتنا التاريخية، وعززت مسار الشراكة الاستراتيجية التي نحرص على وضع أسسها على الصعيد السياسي والاقتصادي والثقافي وفي كل المجالات المتاحة لنا. لقد كانت المحادثات كما تفضل فخامة الرئيس رجب طيب أردوغان، كانت محادثات ثرية وعميقة، دعمنا خلالها تلك المكاسب التي أفضت إليها محادثتنا قبل سنتين في الجزائر بمناسبة زيارة فخامة الرئيس رجب طيب أردوغان لبلادنا في سنة
country
2020
in 2020
من نتائجها
that resulted
إبرام العديد من
the
اتفاقيات
signing of several agreements,
اتفاقية التعاون
cooperation agreements.
من أبرز القرارات
And among the most important decisions at that time
أردوغان
between me and President Erdogan was to increase the level of Turkish investment in the Algerian economy to reach $5 billion. And we have reached that level. And we will agree with him here to raise that level until we reach the 10 billion and more than 10 billion. Based on that, this is a strategy that we are keen to develop on the political and economic level. Our talks were rich and positive for both peoples and for both countries and both nations.
والتي بدأت المحادثات
And the talks started,
التي قمنا كذلك أثناءها بتقييم
or during these talks, we tried to evaluate
سنتين.
the path of 2 years.
بدأت هذه المحادثات
These talks
التي انطلقت
and agreements that started 2 years ago
إلى يومنا هذا
until this day
طيبا إن شاء الله
started to provide good results
في العديد من المجالات
in different sectors and
نذكر من
areas.
بينها
And we
قطاع
can
النسيج
mention here the sector of textile,
كذلك قطاع
and we
الصلب
can mention the sector of iron,
السوسيالي
and
اللي اليوم تأسست يعني سمحت
now
إنتاج تاعها
the iron companies that are producing
يقارب المليار دولار
good qualities of iron that reach the value of $1 billion. And it's difficult actually to mention all the numbers and all sectors and all areas that we are cooperating with in them.
إدماج بالتقريب
We try to make
وثقافي
to create a comprehensive process for all these sectors. And this is an opportunity to re-express our wills to build connection bridges between the two countries, and the agreements that we have signed today will help us to create a mechanism of communication that will enhance our historic relations between the two countries. And the talks also allowed us to explore the mutual interest issues. And we have reached a point of agreement between the viewpoints about what's happening in regard to the aggressions on the Palestinian people, and also the violations that are committed by the Israeli occupation, and the call for the international community to end these violations. And also we have agreed on what's happening in Libya, and we have a unified viewpoint that we should give the word for the Libyan people to reach elections that will help the country to move forward. And we have also reached general viewpoints about the main issues and files. And also we have discussed the Sahel countries and what are the international efforts in order to dry out the terrorism activities and to restore the stability in these countries. And we hope that we will do some processes in this regard together. It's so difficult to mention everything here in this speech, but we can say that the momentum of these agreements is good, and we have coordination in all sectors and areas, whether they are in politics, economics, culture, and other sectors. And we hope that the next year, when the committee, when it meets to do an evaluation, we hope the results will be better with the help of God. And thank you very much.
A door that opens to the African continent. That's how Turkey's president is describing Algeria, as President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan and the Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune finish off their joint press conference. They are about to take questions from members of the media. Let's listen in.
Journalists, yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Anis al-Hayshar.
From the international Algeria TV, my question to both presidents, the Turkish and Algerian presidents, my question is that, is there a way to make the Turkish-Algerian economic agreement or partnership, to make it more than the economic, to be in a strategic partnership? Yes. We can do that, and this is the core of the agreements that we have reached. The agreements are not limited. They are not limited to place or limited to time. We have signed strategic agreements, and we hope to develop, or within the framework of developing the industry, to reach the maritime industry, whether it's civil or military industry, and also other industries that will help the two nations.
Cevabı zaten Sayın Cumhurbaşkanı verdi. Benim tekrar aynı soruya cevap vermem herhalde gerek yok. Evet.
Same question. Yes. Please, from the Algerian side, the second question. Let's take the second question from the Algerian side.
نعم سيدي الرئيس تحدثت ربما عن
have talked about that there are several partnerships that we can invest in them. Aside from the economic partnership, that there are other sectors that are more strategic for building partnerships. Can you tell us more about building more partnerships between you, Turkey, and Algeria?
Şakirin. Öncelikle savunma sanayinde
First of all,
atacağımız adımlar önem arz ediyor.
the steps to be taken in the field of defense industry are of high importance. Of course, defense industry is not a field that we can narrowly define. So right now, and here, there are many companies who are negotiating the process, starting with TUSAŞ. And apart from that, we have companies from the private sector who have been negotiating those steps. And together with all of those, more importantly, many of our Turkish companies have been negotiating with the Algeria for the sea and the land. Within the framework of the military relations, we have assessed our possible cooperation in the field of defense industry. And in terms of its political aspect, we have discussed the possibility of acting together as Algeria and the Republic of Turkey. For example, the President mentioned the Palestinian issue and the Libyan issue, and we discussed our possibilities of acting together regarding to those matters. And of course, we can extend the areas in which we can act together. Of course, this can be a reality after the meetings of our relevant ministries. The strategic cooperation agreement indeed means that the works of our ministries of foreign affairs via their secretariat will be accompanied with at least once in a year of presidential meetings, and that's how we will be proceeding with. And throughout those meetings, we will have a chance to assess what kind of works that our ministries have been doing so far. Today, one of the most important topics that we have assessed together with my dear brother was the possibility of bilateral cooperation in the field of agriculture, because we have a good level of expertise in the field of agricultural industry. Indeed, Algeria has a land area of 2.4 million square meters, and it is a country without any problem of irrigation and water. So in close coordination and solidarity, we have thought that we can cooperate and collaborate with each other. This might be a state-to-state cooperation or cooperation between the private companies, and the cooperation will be on the basis of a win-win policies, and we have also assessed the matters of exporting to the third countries together. And tourism is also a very important topic. We had a chance to assess the historical relations between Turkey and Algeria in the field of tourism. The cultural tourism might develop even further, and we have stated that we can develop our package offers in the field of tourism, and hopefully, with the necessary steps to be taken, the bonds of brotherhood between Turkey and Algeria will be developing even further. Of course, in the field of education, we have been taking many steps by the Marif Foundation, which is very important. We have taken many steps in the field of safety and security, and we will be striving for improving all those relations in all those fields. We can continue with the Turkish side. A News, Ece Altun, I will address my question to you. The President of Finland stated that they are ready for meeting with you for the NATO membership. Did you receive an official invitation? And we also know that a delegation from Sweden for the NATO membership will come to Ankara. And what will be the position of Turkey with both meetings? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dear friends, the meetings have been held between the Ministries of Foreign Affairs, but there is one thing that I would like to articulate very sincerely. Both countries do not have a crystal clear position against the terrorist organizations. And beyond that, even if they state that they are against those terrorist organizations, they also make announcements that they will not give those captured terrorists back to us. Even if they promise to give those terrorists back to us, we believe that a Muslim will not go through the same hole 2 times, as the saying goes. As you know, the Greece was out of NATO in the past, and the government of the time made sure that the Greece became a NATO member once again. So I would like to make a call to my people who watch us in front of their screens. What are the forthcoming countries of NATO? Do they give the necessary support to Greece? Yes, they do. Do they open bases on Greece? Yes, they do. So how can we believe in them? Sweden is the incubation center for the terrorist organizations. They invite terrorists to deliver speeches in their parliaments, and they send special invitations. And inside of their parliaments, they have the pro-PKK terrorists. How can we believe in them? They stated that they will come to Turkey. Are they coming to convince us? Well, they shouldn't get tired coming to here. Before everything else, the ones who have been putting sanctions against Turkey, we will not say yes to their membership to the NATO, a security alliance, because if that is the case, then the NATO will not be anymore a security alliance, but rather it will be a platform where the representatives of the terrorists are present. So we cannot say yes to that. So unfortunately, we cannot be harmed from the same place again and again. Second question. Mr. Fatih, TRT News, I will be addressing my question to the Algerian president. Turkey and Algeria have historical relations. What would you like to say about the future of relations between the countries? And you have mentioned to the future of the Libya. What common steps can be taken by Algeria and Turkey to get together on that regard?
For the Libyan problem, there is a core agreement between us and our Turkish counterparts on the basis to solve the problem with elections. There is no solution without fair elections to bring back the authority to the Libyan people. We have agreed to have consultation and communication about the Libyan issue, and we will coordinate with each other about it. But the core is that we have agreed on that basis that the solution should be elections and no other options are there.
Well, I wonder, but you didn't wonder at all. On our left and right hand side, you see that there are 2 pictures, and those pictures are out of our archives. And these will be given as a gift and the memory of today to the President by congratulating the Abdelmadjid coming to the throne, by stating that they are fighting against the French successfully. This is the letter by Emir Abdul Kadir, 14th of December 1841. So you can see that by celebrating the Abdelmadjid coming to the throne, by stating that they are fighting and combating against the French successfully, this is the letter in Arabic by Emir Abdul Kadir in 14th of December 1841. So you can see that our relations are dating back to such a great time. May it be auspicious.
Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune and Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan wrapping up a joint press conference talking about improving bilateral ties. For more on this, let's turn to TRT World's Yasineki.